Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's Trevor Stockwell here with you today with another great guest that's going to help us grow our businesses. Now, Dancho is a serial entrepreneur, and he helps clients around the globe, lots of different industries. He's a Global Innovator Award winner, and he also founded and is the CEO of BizzBee, a company that primarily focuses on helping high-ticket service providers reach prospects the right way. One avenue being outreaching on LinkedIn, which we'll dive into a bit more, but there's lots that we can learn from his expertise. He's developed the B2B outbound growth formula, and he's certainly going to tell us about that, so that we can all improve our sales funnel. So welcome to the show, Dancho Dimkov.
Yeah, hello, Trevor. Thank you very much for having me to the show. I was so excited when I saw that you have a big audience, and I'm so happy to share the story and give some insight to the audience.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's good. We're always keen to learn from experts, so it's great. Okay, maybe first, for those that maybe don't know you, I know you've kind of had an interesting journey as well to bring you to where you are today. Just share us a little bit about your journey so far. I know it's not finished, but yeah, how did it all start?
Well, I have a long version, which will require several beers because it is the long version. And I have like an executive summary, which I think I can squeeze it here. But honestly, it started like 10 or more years ago when I was working as a freelancer on most of the main freelancing platforms. And in parallel, I was actually working for an IT company. And you know, when you work in a company that you still do it for the money because it was a good pay. But on the other hand, after work, I was doing my passion, which was more working with freelancers, entrepreneurs, and company owners. And at some point, I started getting the same money from work and from after work. And then I said, okay, now it's time to start the digital nomad life. And I just quit my job. I just got a fiancé at that point, and we said, let's travel Europe and we can do the digital nomad life. You get up in the morning, you do some work, you travel around. I mean, we went to Germany, to Netherlands, to Switzerland, to France. And it was quite an interesting experience. But at some point we said, well, if we want to make this grow, we cannot really do it as a freelancers. And on the other hand, we were also considering starting a family. So perhaps that was the turning point where we say, okay, let's come back to Macedonia and let's start BizzBee Solution in order to start growing it as a company that then we can even take a step back and make the company keep on making money. So it was an interesting journey, and I've started as a consultant because as a management consultant, I mean, my primary services were market research, business planning, lead generation. And now as we started growing, I mean, we have more than 400 clients so far. I started realizing that, you know, business owners have one particular need, and that is keep growing more and more. When we worked with entrepreneurs, I mean, we can do market research, we can do a business plan, but that's about it. I mean, thank you very much for the business plan. See you hopefully never if my business succeeds. But on the other hand, when we introduce the lead generation process, it's like you bring leads to client. He's like, I want more. And then you bring them more and they're like, I want more. Then I've realized from continuity point of perspective that the lead generation service for us, it could help us grow, but also by trying all these different angles and different aspects, I've realized what works and what doesn't, and even helped us grow as a company. So fast forward near like 20 something employees, all in-house. I mean, now during the Corona, we're all working remote. I'm alone in the office, as you can see, and things are perfect so far. So that's where we are up to now.
That sounds really good. Yeah. So maybe just, I'm kind of curious, I suppose, but what was a couple of the really early lessons that you learned once you kind of quit your full-time job in a sense and you launched as an entrepreneur? What was was it an easy transition for you?
No. Financial wise, first you have a mortgage to pay. And then when you become a freelancer, you don't know when you're going to get paid. That's for sure. But also one of the biggest mistakes that I had in that part was that I was not concerned about marketing or networking, which later I realized that it hurt it a lot. Because, Trevor, when you work in freelance world, it's more as a gig economy. You find a project, you apply, you get the job, you start doing it. Then when we started growing, you just find more jobs, gigs. You got the jobs, you just give it to the employees. But we had zero marketing for like 2 or 3 years. And then when we said, okay, let's start going outside from freelancing platforms, we heard it a lot. I mean, nobody knew about us. We didn't have a website. We didn't have anything. So we were like a 3-year company with 0 year in marketing. So we really needed to catch up. And for me, it was like at one point, you cannot just get from freelancing platforms all the capacity. So we said, what else can we do to start looking for clients? And we've tried a lot. I mean, I've tried Facebook ads with flashy LED, buy here and stuff. We've tried Google ads. We've tried all kind of ads, actually. We've tried content creation, like create a blog, create something insightful. But those were really mid to long-term strategy. You cannot just type a blog tonight and tomorrow get 5 new clients. It's really takes some time for the SEO to catch up, for Google to catch up in order to start seeing the result. And as a business owner, I had to figure out way to cover the cost. And this type of switching the mindset was to actually start chasing clients, start picking up the phone and like, hello, I need a client, to that degree. So that mind switch actually helped us first to start getting new clients, but also start making it as a service. So proactively looking for clients is the only way that you can have a quick win on a very short time of period. And I know that when we are saying start proactively calling clients, it looks a bit spammy, but we never did the cold calling. I mean, even now I find it inconvenient when someone just calls me, hello, we would like to offer you something. Like, for example, during we're recording this call, if someone calls in, it's just really intrusive. Yeah. While on the other hand, we have the email outreach and LinkedIn outreach, which are more text-based approach, where people can actually have a look at it and respond at their convenience. So we kind of actually move the direction toward there, and our specialization came into the B2B world. We've realized that my whole experience is in the B2B world. I have zero knowledge in the B2C market. So we said, well, let's specialize in the B2B. Let's specialize to high ticket service providers in terms of consultants, marketing agencies, sales agencies, and software companies, whether it's a software development or SaaS, because they have expensive services and it's not a really easy to sell process.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there. So let's talk about maybe LinkedIn to start with. I know like you provide lots of different aspects to the service. Yeah. It's not just LinkedIn. I'm quite keen to hear about LinkedIn as well as the other things. But
yeah, of course. I mean, I can talk for LinkedIn for hours. I mean, it's my painful topic. But the whole point is that since we started specializing into the high ticket service providers, we became high ticket service provider. And it's not like we have too many options. I mean, I cannot say 10,000 euros Facebook ad with flashy LED buy here and someone will just click and pay 10,000 euros. I mean, with more expensive services, it is becoming a longer sales cycle. There are multiple people involved. There are more money. There is a longer sales cycle. And it is a hard decision to make. And here we've realized that we've started making our own databases, but you're going to scrape a database, you have 1,000 contacts, but after 6 months, it is becoming obsolete. I mean, people switch jobs, people get fired, people decided to quit and start their own business. So updating those databases was a really big headache for us. On the other hand, LinkedIn is the best B2B platform out there. I still haven't seen a better one. And the secret sauce in LinkedIn is that they actually have the database auto-updated. For example, if you switch job, you then go on LinkedIn and you're saying, I switched a job, I'm now working here. So for me, I don't really need to have a database and update and qualify everything because I can just go on LinkedIn and it's auto-updated all the time. So when we've realized this, we said, well, then LinkedIn has unlimited potential for high ticket service providers. And the other part was that I still don't know but why, but in 21st century, people are still spamming a lot. I mean, it's an interesting case, but in a regular B2B event where you go physically and talk with people, you are never behaving the same as you're talking in the digital world. So when you go to a B2B conference, you'll say, "Hi, my name is Trevor. What do you do? What I do?" And if there is some synergy, it is a relationship building and you're moving to the next level. While you do that in real life, you go online and you start spamming. It's like, "Hi, my name is Dancho. Would you like to buy this?" "No, thank you very much." "Hi, my name is Dancho. I'm selling this. Would you like to buy?" "No, thank you very much." And I don't know why people switch their mindset from physical to online, but perhaps the hope is that you sent 1 million or billion invitations or emails, and with a success rate of 0.0000001, you still get some results, but you are burning so many bridges.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I mean, it's not like we invented something hot or something new. We just said, well, a simple logic. Why people don't behave online same as they behave in the physical world. And I'm still astonished by this. I mean, for me, it's still like, yes, but when you go to LinkedIn or when you do cold emailing, you're reaching out to people not to sell, but actually to start a conversation. And we have a saying here at BizzBee Solution is that when you go in a bar and you see a girl, it's not like you just go and on your knee and "Will you marry me?" I mean, okay, it might work. And the disclaimer here, it might work sometimes, but in majority of the cases, it won't. And if you really want to make something happen, you go to the girl, you buy her a drink, you start chit-chatting about sports. Okay, sports is a really bad example. You start talking about the weather or something more general. And if you see the synergy, then you can take the relationship a bit deeper. And we're saying, well, can the same thing be applied on LinkedIn? I mean, it's not like we're going to find girls and buy them drinks on LinkedIn and ask them to marry. But if you're having a high ticket service and it is not a $50 impulsive purchase, you really need to start engaging with people, start talking to them, start building the relationship. And only if you see that there is a good fit, instead of saying, "Hi, would you like to buy?" you're saying, "Okay, let's come on a call. Let's talk." Because then on the talk, you can actually qualify if they're a good lead for you and actually pitch if you're a good fit for them.
Yeah. I really like the way you put it, actually. It's true. It is so easy to behave one way in real life and then just, for some reason, like just switch. Yeah, absolutely. And then we wonder why it doesn't work. Yeah.
Well, it is in a human nature. I mean, Trevor, it's not like we invented something. Sales has been here for a long time. And in psychology and in physical sales, I mean, there are so many sales gurus that we can learn from. But I don't know, somehow when you go online, you're just forgetting that you're talking to another human with some problems that they have, and it stops being a sale. It's like, I'm trying to help as many business owners reach out to their ideal clients. So I'm not trying to sell you, I'm trying to help you. Yeah. And, but when I'm trying to reach to people, it's like, how is business is really outdated approach. But when you start talking about business and stuff, if they told you, you know what, we actually have a LinkedIn team and we're doing fantastically, it's nonsense to say, well, would you like to buy our LinkedIn service? I mean, there's no point, because they were aware of the problem, they have the solution, and they're happy with it. I mean, if they told me, we're outsourcing that part and we're not really happy, there is still a follow-up that you can, well, would you like to hear us and maybe replace those since you're not happy? But if someone is happy with the supplier, there's no point even getting to a pitch. And for me, this was the big lesson learned, Trevor, because we didn't burn any bridge. Because when you're reaching to someone and you're just trying to chit chat, and by chit chat, I'm still thinking that you're qualifying them if they're relevant, you will realize that only a small percentage of people are really relevant at this point. However, all of the others require some nurturing. Maybe they're not ready now. Maybe they'll need it in 3 months. Maybe they'll need it in 6 months. So you really want to keep them in your network and start nurturing them. How are things? How is life? I've just made a new webinar. I wanted to share it with you. Or we've just made this ebook. It's for free. Here you go. So this kind of nurturing is that for you to position yourself as an authority. Because when you're an authority in the field, it is just a matter of time when they're going to need, and they will be like, but I know Dancho, or I know Trevor, he's the go-to guy for this particular part. And if I manage to position myself as the go-to guy for LinkedIn outreach, I did my job, because whoever thinks about LinkedIn outreach, they're like, Dancho is the go-to guy for that service. And then it becomes much easier to sell.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. What would you say would be some of the, if we approach this from the both human interaction perspective and also kind of building credibility, trying to see if that kind of good fit chemistry is there, what would be some of the practical things that we could implement or just check, yeah, we are doing that, and or maybe I should do a bit more of that and not so much of that, to help kind of the nurturing side, like before we go for the pitch and all of that, building the relationship, whether it is 6 months from now, potentially they may take up our service, or whether it's kind of more longer term than that or short term. What would be, like, adding value? You mentioned about keeping them in the loop of things that we're doing. Is that the best strategy? Are there other kind of tips and tricks?
Well, usually it's just several clear steps that if you do them right, you can get a lot of new clients. And by rights, I mean, that's why I'm saying it's really not that we invented hot water or reinvented the wheel, but it's just surprisingly why people don't apply to the digital world. I mean, as a management consultant as well, the first time we always say is that you need to define your ideal clients. And it is a common sense. It's like, I don't know why people, when they spam with Viagra, buy Viagra with 10 millions of people, it's like, I don't need it. I'm not targeted. While on the other hand, on LinkedIn, if you're using Sales Navigator, which is the premium functionality, you get some fantastic filtering option. And by fantastic, I really mean that you can laser focus your ideal target. You can target geographically. You can say, I want people from UK. And within UK, I want people within the, automotive industry, and that within the companies that have 50 to 200 employees specifically. And in those companies, I'm actually looking for the CEO, COO, founder, co-founder, and you're going to get a list. And that's it. If those are the people that you're targeting, you've achieved your goal. Or for example, if you have an HR software, or if you have an HR software that is specifically for accountants, then you can say, okay, give me the industry accountants, give me the geographic, give me the size of the accountants that I desire, and then give me the position within those accounting companies. And there you go. You have a very good list. And I still don't know, but people don't do it. They're like random. Well, we do high ticket service providing. And even with high ticket service providers, people think, well, we actually help consultants, marketing, sales agencies, and software companies, because they really have a different problem. Consultants are usually trying to get as a higher per diem or daily fee, while softwares, they have the SaaS, and particularly, they're more interested in the subscription-based model, so they have completely different needs. So it's weird to send the same message to consultants and to software companies. And so once you know actually who is your ideal profile, we believe that the next step is actually to optimize your profile. I don't know, in 21st century, people still have their profiles as a CV. I'm CEO of this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. And that is a good CV if you're looking for a job. But if you're looking for clients, don't get high hopes out of that. It's interesting that now we're actually switching how we position the profiles, because you no longer want to say, hi, my name is Dancho, I'm certified management consultant, I'm executive MBA or Master of Science. It's more, you're trying to put your expertise, but also your human touch. That's why I'm saying that we no longer saying Trevor is just a set of business things, but Trevor is a human with family, with things. And now when we're making our profiles, we're adding that human touch, because it's like, for example, take me. I was working as a 3 years owning a marketing agency. Then I was working for 3 years as a software companies. And then I have 5 years or more actually BizzBee Solution. And then when I saw that it is hard to sell this kind of services, I've actually built the LinkedIn outreach, which is a culmination of all my experience. And now my mission is actually to help as many high ticket service providers in order to reach, get into relationship and get more clients. So it really adds the human part rather than just I've done this, and this.
Yeah.
And once you have the profile, you need to know who that profile is talking to. We're talking to accountants. You need to shape it a bit toward to your target audience.
Yeah.
So after the filter is done, the profile is done. Next step is to start creating the messages. And here is all the messes that are usually happening. I mean, even the best database with a bad message, you're not going to succeed. And I don't know why, but usually people set it up like a sequence, which is a normal thing to do. But message 1, message 2, message 3, and message 4 is let's jump on a call. And for me, it's really interesting because you're sending me message 1, I'm ignoring it. You're sending me a second message, I'm still ignoring it. You're sending me the third message, I'm ignoring it. And then the fourth, you're saying, do you want to come on a call? And for me, it's like, didn't you got the hint that I was actually ignoring your previous several messages? So it's not like I was message 1, I responded. So message 2, I responded. And then message 4 coming on a call, if we're looking at the funnel. But the message structure that we're doing is just pure conversation starters. And they have one simple goal, to get them engaged into conversation. Because if you're doing automation, you cannot really be that one-to-one conversation. You start with the automation at the top where you're doing one-to-many, and then you are tailoring to the industry specific or position specific. For example, if you're targeting HR in accounting, you're going to say, I know with now Corona stuff, people are working from home. It's quite hard to work the HR to recruit new people, but that's still general talking, one-to-many that you can send to any HR in accounting. And these conversation starters, we usually have 3 to 4 different, because after that, if people are not interested, we just give up. But my whole point in this messaging, Trevor, was that, with these conversation starters, we don't try to sell, we don't try to pitch, we just try to engage into conversation. So at the end of the day, even if they ignore the fourth message, you still have an open bridge. You still haven't burned and asked, would you want to jump on a call or something? And I can even tell you the psychology behind each of the messages, because when we do 4, we have, some backward psychology on why people should respond on the first or on the second, on the third, and the fourth. So the first message is always the duality. I give you a scenario where you need to choose between 2 things, and people kind of want to choose. They're like, I think like this before of that. So what we're usually making is, in the first messages, I talk with few fellow experts in the HR field, and opinions seem divided. On the one hand, someone said that now during the Corona is much easier to recruit, while on the other hand, the other are saying now is much harder. What do you think? And in this case, people are like, I'm not trying to sell a software yet. I'm not trying to pitch anything yet. I'm just trying to get your opinion on a subject matter. And people respond a lot. And by a lot, I mean quite a lot. People are engaging into that conversation. And if they don't respond to that message, we're moving to the second one, which is the empathy. And then we're trying to say that we really understand your problems. We understand that, I don't know why I took the HR example, but now I'm going to stick with it. As an HR employee, that it's not easy to actually take care of the career paths of the people and try to make everybody happy in the company. But also you need to be budget aware, because now budgets are even tighter. And people are like, you understand my problem. I can totally relate to this, and they are engaging. And as you said, as I told you, it's one thing that they want to choose, but they even want more to complain. So when you put it into an empathy, they're like, you're right, and it's really like that, and it's really hard and things. And that's the point. I mean, we want to get people to start talking with us. I mean, ignoring you is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
If they ignored message 1 and if they ignored message 2, the third one is the credibility message, because if they ignore 2 messages, probably they don't believe that you're worthwhile talking to them. So then we're saying, okay, I probably jumped into questions without introducing. I have this company for 10 years, for 15 years. I'm expert in this area. So we're putting ourselves as the expert in the field. And you know what? Many people are like, but I thought that you're nobody, and that's why I ignored you. But now that I saw you have the credibility or the expertise, or you actually work with 10 different accounting companies with HR departments, now I'm saying, okay, now I want to hear from you and actually understand what you do. And the fourth message is, instead of asking them for a call, we call it as a farewell message, because we're just trying to give them something for free. In terms of you're probably busy, maybe it's not the right time. Here is a free ebook. Here is a free white paper or free trial if you're in the software industry. And as you see, here we stop. I don't want to push them further, but I've never closed the line in terms of would you like to come on a call or would you like to do something? And we never send it like here is the PDF or here is the link, because we really believe in permission based. So it's like in the credibility, I can say I have several case studies with several accounting companies. If you want, I can share it with you. Or in the free value, I have an ebook that I think could really be useful to you. If you want, I can share it with you. But it's never, hi, here you 5 attachments with 3 PDFs and 2 Word documents. Good luck, because they never asked any of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I told you the messaging is really the key part here, because with that messaging, we know that our goal is to just get them engaged, because once they engage, we take them out from one-to-many conversation and we're moving them to one-to-one communication, where a human being sits on the computer, checks out their website and like, congratulations, I saw about this, I saw about that. And this is where we actually try to build a relationship, try to qualify, because, with the conversation starters, the ones that respond might not be still relevant for you or for the client. And during the qualification, if we see that we're a good fit, we are trying to bring the curiosity high. It's like, you know what? I actually have 3 ideas how we can help you. Or I actually worked with one of your competitors and we did some fantastic result. Do you want me to show you the results? And with that excitement, people are like, yeah, I actually want to. And then we're saying, well, let's come on a call. Let me show you, because I know that I cannot sell on LinkedIn. I cannot say, well, for 25,000 euros, you can get this, this, and this with a 3-year contract and 3% discount, because that's actually selling. LinkedIn is actually getting to call people, start getting them into conversation, and start building the relationship to move them on a call. Because on the call, like this, they can see you, they can talk to you, they can engage. And if they feel like, and if you feel that there is a potential, you can say, well, you know what, I can actually help you as well. And then introduce the dynamics and how and what and everything. But even on the call, if you think that they're not a good fit, you're saying, well, at least I wanted to give you some free advice. Good luck in your life. I mean, there's no point in pitching something to someone you think it's not relevant.
Yeah.
Oof, I tried to talk too fast.
It's brilliant. I love talking about psychology and how we work and how we respond. I think that's a key thing in every area of life anyway.
Yeah.
But also, there's so much value in just everybody that's listening, and myself included, just reviewing what are the relationships we currently have that we are nurturing, and are we going about that the correct way?
If you ask me, I don't think people consider it as a relationship. I mean, we live in some kind of a digital world. It's like, I create a sequence. I send it to 5,344 people. I got 25% engagement, 32%, without considering that, those 5,000 are people. And here is probably the disconnection, because in real life, when you go to a B2B event, you're not going to go at 5,000 people. You're just going to approach 5, 10, 20, 30 and have more meaningful conversation, rather than actually trying to we call value vomit. Try blah, hi, I do this, hi, I do that, hi, I do that. So perhaps that's the difference, where people consider, well, with the digital, I can exponentially grow, but the digital should be just automation of what you would do manually. Not completely different approach. So if you wouldn't send a message manually, then why would you do it automatically? The goal behind the automation is just reducing the time needed and the labor, because this is the message I would regularly send. Well, we have tools that can actually speed up the process, not make different messages.
Yeah, you're right. It's keeping the awareness that everything I send is actually me talking to someone, or representing me talking to someone, isn't it? Rather than just, can I get you on my list, and then,
spamming you. Yeah, and Trevor, it's interesting. I mean, there are a lot of social bots that are coming up, but when you're talking to a human and when you're not talking to a human. I mean, that's why with these chats we're doing as one-to-one. I mean, at the beginning we do one-to-many, but when the moment someone engages in the campaign, we move it to one-to-one, Because if I ask you, well, how, as a high ticket service provider, how do you currently market your services? And you say Facebook, it's not like a questionnaire. Do you do this? Yes. Do you do that? No. It's more sharing, because when you say Facebook, I'll be, I tried that. It cost me 5,000 euros. I didn't got a lead, so I'm not sure how you've succeeded. So it's not a one-way channel. Relationship really requires two people sharing information. And bots cannot do it yet. Maybe in 5 years, they're going to start inventing stories like, when I was a kid, this happened to me or something. But that is actually a meaningful conversation, because you can still fake it going to a conversation and just inquiring people. Do you have outreach? Yes. Do you do LinkedIn? No. Why don't you do it? How big budget do you have and stuff? Rather than, are you happy with your current team? Yes, I'm happy to hear that. It's not a common thing to see other companies that are having great teams. So I'm really happy to you. So it's really human talking to human, rather than a script that you just had copy paste to everybody around.
Yeah, absolutely. We can learn a lot from each other, can't we, if we're open in dialogue?
Yes, but I think, Trevor, that was also another thing that I forgot to mention, that you're actually getting feedback from the people, because many times we work with clients that don't even have a software or a service. Like, they are thinking of doing an MVP, but instead of that, they're like, okay, let's reach out to several thousand of our ideal clients and start talking and start listening to them. And based on that, first, you've made yourself friends. And second, when you have the software, you can get back to them. It's like, hi, remember me when we chatted a few weeks ago? Well, now I have something to share with you. And that is a good, because as you get insights, you're actually optimizing the campaign. Because if 25 people gives you the same obstacle, it's like, but it's like this, you then start working on the marketing part. You can create a block around that obstacle. Why it's critical to have software in the HR, into the accounting department, or the top 5 questions that are being asked by HR people in accounting. And there you go. You have a content. It's not like marketing team should think on a subject that might be relevant to your target, but as you're talking to your target, you're just seeing what kind of obstacles they have or what kind of question. And that is the foundation for content creation strategies. I mean, if too many people ask it, you know that maybe the others that didn't ask had the same questions. And you make a blog or a podcast or whatever around that content, which actually then you can use it and it can work.
Yeah, people will look at it and go, yeah, I had the same problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is really good. We are rapidly coming to the end of our time together, but I do want to kind of mention a couple of things. So you are writing a book at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, not at the moment, 1.5 years already, and I can't wait to get rid of it already, because I actually am in the process of signing with a UK publishing house from UK, and the whole goal is that over the years and working with more than 400 clients already, we've created our own frameworks. The things that I was telling you about duality or credibility or empathy, we figured that out. It's not like a borrowed framework, or how to actually find your ideal client based on external and internal forces. And I was just trying to document all the frameworks that we're using in BizzBee into the book. And honestly, Trevor, it was a revelation for me, because as I was writing the frameworks, I was like, why are we doing like this? Why it's actually, and I started asking weird questions. And we go back to the company and we change the processes, and we got even better results, because I've started actually thinking about the process that we have. Hopefully in 3 to 4 months, it will be out, and it is actually how to use LinkedIn and email in a synergy together to actually make the right outreach campaign.
That sounds good, actually. Yeah. But before it comes out, on your website, there's guides and things that you've put together that can help people kind of straight away, isn't there?
Yeah, well, I was a lazy guy, and if you told me that 1.5 years it's gonna take a book, I would have never signed on that project. But there was a trick there where instead of writing the whole book, we divided into chapters, and we said, what actually if each chapter is an ebook that we can share it on our website and get the feedback from the people? Because I am a strong believer on customer feedback and upgrading based on the feedback. So what we did is we have one ebook on making the ideal client profile, one book on copywriting, on database, on outreach, even on nurture. And we have those on our website. They're free. I mean, you do need to leave your email, but on our website, BizzBeeSolution.com, under the B Academy, there is a set of ebooks that now I'm trying to merge them into a whole book. But yes, they are for free. We also have the bi-weekly blog post where every 2 weeks we create a new content. And if they subscribe, we also have the bi-weekly newsletter that we're actually trying to help other high-ticket service providers start getting more and more clients. And what the last thing that we've added since New Year is that we made our own podcast, which was interviewing marketing and sales automation tools and how they can actually save a lot of time to business owners. I mean, we don't have a lot. We have like 4 or 5 up to now, but we also have 5 or more already scheduled. And the goal is to actually show the normal people, not corporation, but actually business owners of small companies that cannot afford to hire 10 SDRs or a team of 50 people, how they can actually utilize the automations in order to reach out to a broader audience. And once they start getting the responses, to actually get and engage into relationship.
Sounds amazing. So you've shared so much useful information with us today. And also, I kept hearing the word free when you mentioned your website. That kind of got my ears going, and I'm sure everybody listening said, okay, I'm going to check out his website. There will be a link below wherever you're clicking to listen to this. Yeah, definitely check out BizzBee. I think there's lots of things that we can learn and pick up straight away, but also start a conversation. Find out how BizzBee can help you wherever you are in your journey of nurturing relationships, whether you're really good at building a good sales funnel, whether it's an area that you struggle with. I would say, for everybody listening, just definitely check out what they do. Help them to help you by getting in touch and starting a relationship and see where it goes. Thank you, Dancho, for what you've shared today. It'd be great to chat with you again, particularly maybe when your book comes out, you can come back and tell us even more about your experience.
Sure.
And some of the tips. But just in what you've shared today, if we really listen and take on board a lot of what you've said, is either brand new or just a really good reminder of things that we've probably let slip. So thank you for kind of reintroducing the human element to marketing for everybody listening, and myself included. There's things that I can take away from that as well. So
well, Trevor, thank you very much for inviting me. I truly hope that I've managed to inspire some of the business owners to just ask the main question: am I spamming people or am I building a relationship? And of course, there is a tons of resource on the subject. It's just that everything is oriented toward quantity rather than quality. And that's why I'm actually trying to spread the word about what we do, and not just BizzBee, just inspiring people to be more people actually, rather than be more robots, and actually start building the relationship, because I personally don't know any other way how you can sell expensive services to other clients. I mean, I wouldn't buy 10,000 pounds website until I know the person, or until I follow them for a bit and then I know their materials and something that they have done already, in order to trust them with my website.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we forget to put ourselves in the potential client's shoes sometimes. I think that in itself would just change our perspective in a way that would be useful. So that's brilliant. Thank you for all that you shared, Dancho. Much appreciated. Just remind everybody, definitely check out BizzBee, see what they're doing, get connected somehow, have a look at the free stuff that's on the website as well. But go further than that and utilize their expertise, because it will save you a lot of time and energy and help you improve relationships rather than maybe turn people off in the strategy that you're adopting at the moment.
Exactly.
Right. For everybody that's listening, go and do something proactive today. Remember that they're human as well as the fact that you are. And we'll make the world a better place. We'll make it a more enjoyable place for everyone. So until next episode, we will catch you then. Thanks very much. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yeukai.businessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.